Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's episode of the Ventthis podcast. We are on episode number 56. Our title is She Did What?
Ooh.
Yeah, doesn't that make you want to know more? I want to know more. Guys, I'm your host, Paul Roseberry, joined as always by the lovely Chrissy. Chrissy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, and we've got our guest, as we mentioned, my wife, girlfriend, wife, Chelsea.
Hi, happy to be back.
Happy to have you.
Yes. So, guys, as we did mention last week, and we'll throw it out at the beginning here. We are celebrating 2,000 downloads.
Thank you.
It's a big deal. Yeah, and thank you, Chris. Yeah, because this was Chrissy's brainchild. This Ventthis. Chrissy needed to vent. She had accumulated some vent pressure in her life.
Boiling, yes.
And she said, you know what? I'm not just going to vent by myself in the backyard and yell at the trees. I'm going to include the world. And the world is speaking, Chrissy.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, I couldn't have done it without you, Chuck. Now we have Chelsea and all the guest hosts we've had.
Yes.
It's been great. And thank you for our listeners for, downloading us and thinking we're funny and having something to say about life. So it's been fun. We're both having a great time. We're all having a good time. So that's the main thing.
Well, and the other main thing is that at 1 million downloads, Chrissy's getting a face tattoo. And I think if anything's going to push the needle, Chrissy,
It's that.
and we'll make an episode of it. We'll do a video. We'll go down live on location to the tattoo parlor.
Oh no. Are you out of your mind?
I am. But I'll be out of my mind with elation when we get to that 999,999 downloads and we go, uh-oh, it's almost ink time for Chrissy.
All right. Well, that's 1 million downloads. I don't know how that'll probably take 20 years, but who knows?
It's less than 1,000 times what we have.
Yeah.
500, right?
Yeah.
How about that?
There's a bug flying around my computer. Yes.
Yeah, I did notice that. I don't see the bug. I just see you swatting at it, which is maybe the best part. That could be a whole other vent when you like walk into spider webs or, when you're losing it over a bug that no one can see. So you just look crazy.
I have walked into a spider web. I'm not, what is it? Acrophobia when you're afraid?
Arachnophobia.
I'm not that bad, but I cannot stand seeing spiders. It just creeps me out. So anyway, I've walked through webs. Huh?
Too many legs. They have 8 legs. We have 2. You don't need that many legs.
Yeah.
You're up to no good. It's like in the last episode when the people who tinted their windows.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're doing, but it's too much tint. I don't know what these spiders are doing, but it's too many legs.
Yeah.
It's just relax, slow down.
Yeah.
You get 2 legs and 2 hands, or you get 4 legs and no hands. That's how humans look at things. There should be anyway. That's a spider web we're still getting stuck in. So we got some great vents. Yeah. We don't have Loretta.
Right.
So it will be the lovely Chrissy who walks us into, I mean, was there anything we need to cover up front? Is there anything pressing from your week? Is there anything that's been
no, I know. I just want to shout out, because I know we shouldn't always do this, but a shout out to our veterans. I know sometimes people listen to this podcast when it's not Veterans Day or whatever, and I understand that, but it is coming up, and I just want to shout out and thank all the veterans who've fought for us, our rights, our freedoms, and I just want to say thank you. That's
absolutely
all.
Yeah, we'll second and third that. I think it doesn't have to be Veterans Day.
You're right.
I think with veterans we can do it anytime.
Yep.
You know what I
Good
mean?
point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. Why not?
All right.
I mean, they're doing things most of us don't want to. Like, I mean, my God,
I know.
Yeah. We sit here and make jokes. We try to, make the world a better place with levity.
Yeah.
But there are guys who are going full on. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
All right. Should I start the first one?
Let's vent.
Let's vent, baby. All right. Here's vent number 1. I had a party last week, and it turned out to be lots of fun with most of my friends showing up. I saw one of my friends spill red wine, on my rug, and then proceeded to step on it so no one would notice. Oh my God.
Oh.
I was shocked and didn't say anything at the time. Now what do? Should I mention it and risk putting him on the spot? To make matters worse, I can't get the stain out, and the rug was handed down to me from my parents. Oh God,
No.
this is not good. This is not good.
What do you
Because
think, Chrissy?
well, we had a party and I didn't see the person spilling the wine, but I saw a wine stain the next day and it really upset me and I couldn't get the wine. There's a way to get wine out.
Salts or something.
Yeah, well, there's some organic stuff. Anyway, I tried everything, couldn't get it out. And I never mentioned it. So what can you do? Put a chair over or a table. No one will notice. But that's a sticky wicket because if you don't say anything that day and then you do it the next day, it's like you feel like, are you blaming a person? They can't defend themselves. It just feels like keep your mouth shut, try to get the stain out and let it go. That's my feeling.
Chelsea, okay, you're holding back.
No, that's a tough one. I'm with you. You kind of have to say something in the moment.
But then you ruin the party. Yeah.
You know what? It's not tough at all. It's not tough at all. This is just like the episode where the person was eating Cheetos and then wanted to like touch the radio in the car. Absolutely not. In the moment, stop what's going on. The party can continue, but you can see what happened. You go get some soda water from the other room and you go right up to the person and you don't make a big scene. You don't stop the party. You just say, oh, hey, looks like there's some wine right there. I got to get this out real quick before it sets. I have to get it out.
Especially if they're stomping the wine into the carpet.
Especially if they're a moron who is trying to cover it by pressing it into the fibers of the rug. That's a simpleton, to be nice about it. But I can feel that they're embarrassed. They don't want to be, so that's all right. You don't have to call them a fool or make them wear a dunce cap for the rest of the party. You can if you want. That's an option. But definitely, in all reality, no, because I'm going to have that carpet tomorrow and the next day and the next day. That's my carpet, especially if it's a hand-me-down. It's like an heirloom.
I know.
The key to a stain is time. That's the key. You got to get on it immediately. You got to get in there with the cold water. You got to get in there with some kind of a soap that can break it up. I've heard salt can be helpful. I don't know if that's true, but use Google, but get on it. Just, yeah. And there's no one's a bad person because, hey, at the end of the day, you're the one who threw a party. You're the one who served wine. And you're the one who had a party with wine at a place that has a very sentimental family rug. At the end of the day, it's kind of on you that you set this up. And that doesn't mean that you were intentionally careless, but it's on you. You could have rolled it up and put it away.
Yeah.
You could have got out some nice see-through plastic tarping, kind of like an American Psycho. You could have just laid out a plastic tarp and said, hey, I know
we have really nice ones out there.
Not nice tarp. Not all my friends are very smooth. I know sometimes you people are a little clumsy.
Yeah.
Nothing weird about walking into a party that has tarp everywhere.
Yeah, I was having a little fun with that for the American Psycho, fans.
The only thing I want to say is if you go to your friend, let's say they're in a group talking about stuff at your party that you're giving, right? And you what do you say? Excuse me, Joe, could you come here for a minute? I saw you spill my wine and I need to clean it. That's going to be like Debbie Downer. The guy's probably going to leave. How's he going to go back to his group and start, having a good time? He's going to feel uncomfortable. So my feeling is, I don't think you should do it at that moment. Actually, I'm the chicken shit. I wouldn't even say anything. I'm like, you know what? He spilled it on my rug. What can I do? I'll just have to live with it. I'm too afraid to make that, a problem.
I think I would run up and say something more like, let me help you clean that up.
Okay.
Wait, here. So Chrissy, because I think you're not alone in this. I think a lot of people, as our listener who wrote in, they're very uncomfortable with the confrontation or the, party disruption. Here's the easy solution. You go, oh, hey, can you step over a sec? Somebody had a little spill. You're not even putting it on the person who's standing there. You know it's that person. You know it's them. There's a splash on their shoe and a splash on their, it's pretty obvious. But you just say, hey, can you step aside for 1 second? Somebody had a little accident. I just want to get some stain remover on it. Then it's not them.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
And the party goes on. And if the party gets weird for a minute, then you just address it and be like, guys, what are we going to switch the song? It's all good. It was just a little carpet thing. We're all moving on. Hey, who likes cake? And then whoever, you move on to the cake and you go, hey, just try to keep it on the plate. You drunken jerks who are trashing my house. People who will never be invited here again. Enjoy the cake. Enjoy the wine. You'll never be here again. And we're not friends after tonight. So soak it up. Soak it up like my carpet is soaking up your baubles. You address it, call it out.
Okay, I just want to say, Paul's never going to be invited on an airplane. Paul's never going to be invited to parties. The world's going to hate Paul.
No, I should be invited to all parties because one, I'm not the guy who's going to spill. All right, I'm with you. I'm ahead of it. I'm not going to fill my wine glass to the brim like a jerk on beer on Oktoberfest when I got Merlot on someone's champagne white carpet like a jerk. No, I'm a reasonable half glass or less because I have class. I don't always just go to Applebee's as we've discussed, but also if you're uncomfortable, but you tell me, hey, Joe just spilt red wine on my grandmother's carpet, and I'm too much of a, as you mentioned, a chicken shit to do anything about it in the moment. Just tell me. I have no problem. I'll go in there and take care of it. It'll be done. And if anyone has any questions, I'm quick on my feet. I'll keep your party moving.
All right.
Don't worry about it.
Paul's the bad guy.
I'm the good guy. I'm good cop, Chrissy. I'm good cop.
Or you don't serve red wine.
Imagine.
That's a solution.
Genius.
All right,
I think, I think that was good advice to our venters. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Should I go on to the second one?
We're on a roll. One for one. Killing it.
Yeah. All right. Here's vent number 2. Oh boy. Here we go. When will people stop acting like their dogs should be brought everywhere? My boyfriend and I were having breakfast outside at a cute, delicious bakery in Yointville. It's called Bouchon Bakery, and you can sit outside on benches, sipping coffee, eating yummy pastries, and egg sandwiches. Okay, out of nowhere, this huge collie like German Shepherd, comes running, licking my pastries, and grabs my sandwich. The kid who had the leash couldn't control the dog, and my delicious breakfast was gone. We were so pissed because it's expensive, and we waited a long time in line. They offered to get us replacements, but we didn't want to wait again for our food. She says, or he says, stop bringing your dumb pets everywhere.
Before we get into the real question, I do want to point something out as a social service. I think in a situation, I'm hearing the line is a big part of the problem. If you waited in line as you should, and you did everything right, and you get your food and something happens, a dog bites it, a bird swoops in, someone bumps you and it falls, I think it's acceptable to all parties involved, including those who are currently in line. You can go to the front of the line, have your wrapper in hand. So it's obviously that you're not just cutting, have some remnant of what went wrong and just say, I'm sorry, this just happened. Could I have a new one? And I don't think I don't think, I know this may go in with what you were afraid on the last vent, that someone might be afraid to disrupt the party. They might be afraid to call out the vent. I think it's okay to go to the front of the line. I'm a persnickety guy, and I would not be upset by that.
I agree.
You do?
I that's what I do. Yeah, so I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. But how do you prove that actually happened? Like if I was standing in line forever for my, I don't know, croissant, and this guy walks up and go, hey, somebody just knocked it out of my hand. Could I get another one? I don't know. I don't know if I'd be pissed or you feel sorry for the guy. I'm not sure. But imagine if a lot of people did that and now the line just gets longer and longer. I don't know. I might be a little pissed off.
I like the cynicism, Chrissy. I like the
Yeah.
cynicism because it sounds like your response is weighted by the concern that people would then cheat the system and start cutting the line with fake stories that didn't really happen. That's wild. That you go to a very dystopian place very quickly.
Well, I mean, haven't you ever stood in line forever?
Yeah.
And then, like, think of the DMV. You know, just you go to the DMV and you're outside for like an hour, and some guy says, "Oh, you know, I broke my leg and I can't stand in line for long. Can I get ahead of you?" When is it going to end? I'm like, dude, no. Sorry. I've been out here an hour. It's pouring rain and it's 35 degrees below zero. I'm not letting you cut in.
You can tell that guy, listen, buddy, that's why God gave us 2 legs. Stand on the other one. That's what you.
Well, you know where I'm going with this, right? It's like
you're going to the worst DMV on the planet. It's outdoors in the rain and it's 35 below.
Negative 35.
Negative 35. Rain freezes at 32. Like,
all right. Well, I exaggerate.
Problems. You're in hell, which the DMV.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, I see your point. Yeah. It's bad. I mean, I guess if it happened to me, I would want someone to let me go ahead. Yeah.
We would.
But what?
I think polite society, reasonable society would, and I think it's really. Would I be right to say there's sort of a hierarchy to lines where the person at the front kind of has the most sway? Like, you don't have to convince the whole line it's okay. You just have to convince the first 1 to 3 people in line. Hey, sorry, I'm not cutting. A dog just bit this out of my hand. I just want to see if they'll give me a new one. And if those first 1 to 3 people are like, yeah, don't worry about it. Who cares if guy 8 doesn't get it? You know, he sees that there's a vouch. You know what I mean? There's a trickle down effect, cascading approval.
I don't know. Now you made another issue. Now, am I now pissed at the guy who wants to get ahead and now pissed for the first 3 guys that say yes? I don't know.
It's similar when you're on an airplane and everyone's deplaning and someone, when they're like, oh, there's another flight, let the people in the back get off first.
Right.
And I wonder how many of those people are taking advantage of the system.
I've never thought to scam that.
I know.
Now that you mention it.
But I always wonder if people are scamming it. So I feel like it's a similar thought process. You're thinking like if we let one person get away with their croissant, we're going to have a whole bunch of people who do the same thing.
Yeah. I see. I mean, all said, if they can get their pastry or whatever and they cut in front, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to hold a grudge. Yeah. I'm not going to be angry. I mean, in that moment, I might be like, oh, crap, I'll be here for another 10 minutes. I'll let it go. Because it's going to happen to all of us one day where you're standing in line, you spill your coffee and you're like, God darn it. You know, so I guess I would let it go. I see your point.
I think too, though, that the root of this vent was our venter was upset that too many people bring their pets.
Yeah.
People are bringing their dogs. And I will say, one, as we have a small dog, she's right here, our little friend Q, who is 6 pounds. Could not be any more adorable. And sometimes we do bring her with us. We do sometimes. But actually, we've stopped. We don't bring her out, even though she's tiny. She's 6 pounds. She doesn't create a problem, most places. We stopped bringing her out because one day, Chelsea and I were getting sushi on Ventura. And we were sitting outside on the sidewalk. And as I'm talking to Chelsea, never saw it coming up from behind me, a giant pit bull put his head right on my lap. As the owner was walking by, the owner had 2 pit bulls, and one of them put his head right on my lap, sniffing for food. And the owner was like, "Oh, he does that kind of thing." And I'm like, "What? Are you insane? You bring dogs that they have. I'm not going to say they're all violent per se. They are of capacity that if they become violent, it's a much more significant problem than many other dogs. And you are not taking the proper care to be responsible for it. So even if I had my dog on my lap where she would be not upsetting anyone or causing any problems, she could have been attacked.
Yeah.
While she was being properly cared for by someone who wasn't. So for that reason, we don't bring our dog out places.
I see.
But I think it's less about bringing the dog out and more people who don't train their dogs when they're out. I don't have a problem with people bringing their dogs places, but if they let their dogs go rogue, and they don't have them on a leash, or they let them walk up to you or jump on your table. I mean, really, that couple who had the dog should have been the ones getting in line and getting you a new croissant.
Yes.
Because their dog ate your meal.
They offered. Apparently this vendor said
they did offer?
Yeah.
But it was the delay. It was they didn't want to wait again. But to your point, I mean, I'm very, as I've said before, I'm very less government is the best. And I think people should be able to own guns, no problem. But for people who think that, you should have to pass a test or some kind of a license to have a gun, that's not the craziest thing I've ever heard. But if you're going to have dogs that are, I don't know, maybe I don't know, some sort of, if you're going to, definitely feel this way about pit bulls and like Rottweilers, you should have a license. I think you should have had to have taken a safety course one time, even if it's for 30 minutes at the dog DMV or something. What I'm saying is there should be a certain level of social responsibility.
Yeah.
Because today it's a croissant. It's maybe not the end of the world, but tomorrow that same dog trounces an old person who falls down and breaks their hip. Well, then it's not just, oh my God, I'm so sorry, let me buy a croissant and leave. You've got an animal that can affect society and can cause repercussions.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that goes on your homeowner's insurance. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you could lose your house. If you got a big dog that bites somebody and does real damage,
that's a problem.
You better have deep pockets. This could be a bad day. So yes, I do. I think it's fine. People bring their dogs out places. I think a lot of dogs are very sweet, but they have to be controlled.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a tough one. I know, because we've been places where that's happened. And people have offered to buy, a donut or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not the point. It's like what Chelsea was saying and what you're saying. You just make sure if the leash is long, hold it closer to you.
Yeah.
This dog had one of those, for us, had one of those leashes where they can extend, and so the dog came after I was sitting outside, and it took my pastry, and I'm like, I don't mind it as long as you're like you guys are saying, it's either trained well or controlled with the proper leash, or don't get so close to other people. Just be mindful of what your dog potentially can do. And
common decency.
100%.
Common decency.
Yeah. And you want to feel like you can relax when you're out. You don't want to feel like you have to constantly be watching like a dog in the corner of your eye. Like, you can tell he's looking at your plate. He's coming closer. Yeah. It's just, you want to relax.
You remember the time I started a whole big problem at, we were at a restaurant, True Foods, over in Pasadena, and someone's dog place. And it's a very outdoor, a lot of it is outdoor, like a patio. And remember that dog just wouldn't stop barking the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And I went up to him and I said, hey, enough. That's enough. You got to, and they're like, who are you? I said, it doesn't matter who I am. I'm everyone here. We're all sick of listening to your dog. Fix it. What's a dog? I said, yeah, well, you're a person. Fix it. Make the dog stop barking. Figure out why dogs don't inherently bark all day nonstop. Your dog needs something. Is it food, water? It needs to go poop. Fix it. And some people thought I was a jerk. Some people cheered. Some people clapped.
It was a very divisive response.
I had enough. It wasn't the first bark.
I know. I'm with you.
It was like the 85th bark.
Yeah.
I couldn't taste my burger. My burger tasted like bark. I think we might have gotten a free dessert out of it too. Sometimes the restaurants are like, hey, thanks. We couldn't have done that, but thank you. And we'll take care of you.
All right. This next vent is, I'm just going to put it out there. Weird. I read this one. Okay.
We're weird.
Yeah, so am I.
Weird.
Yeah, weird's good. Here we go. Vent number 3. I heard some of your podcasts about foot fetishes, goats in the bedroom, and cartoons on while having sex. Okay. Thank God they're listening.
Yeah, when you paint it in that light.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah. Well, if this were a contest on who has the weirdest partner, then I win. Don't get me wrong. I love my girlfriend, but this quirk is truly odd. My girlfriend likes to chew gum while we are doing it. What? Honest to God, where do these people come from? And then
from a hair salon. She's a hairdresser. I assure you she's a hairdresser.
Paul, Then he writes, and then she pops a bubble. You guessed it, at a certain moment.
That's kind of hot.
Oh my God, Chelsea.
Paul does the same thing, actually.
Oh God, hold on. Wait, we're not done. Save it. The first time it happened, I practically fell out of the bed. But now I'm kind of used to it. I'll be watching this episode because I bet no one will keep a straight face. That's for damn sure.
That's hot. I gotta say, it takes me to it takes me to the friend from Pretty Woman. That's how old of a reference that is. Remember in Pretty Woman, well, Julia Roberts was a prostitute. We like to breeze over that as it became a family movie. But she was a prostitute. Remember her friend who told the other girl, get down to Esther Williams where you belong? Like, she had that attitude. She was kind of punky. I picture this as like
Jersey.
Yeah.
Hairdresser, punky.
I bet this chick is kind of hot. I bet she's kind of hot.
Probably she is. She probably is. Yeah. Yeah.
We all pictured hot.
Yeah. I did too, actually. I did too.
Yeah. I was actually wondering, like, does she chew it loud throughout the whole time? Like, what? Like, is the gum like the third person in this dynamic? Do you know that it's there the whole time you're having sex?
I don't know.
Or is it just a pop at the end?
No, it's a pop when.
Well, yeah.
The pop.
When it's time to pop.
When it's time to pop.
When the cherry pops.
But wait, how do you time that?
This is what I'm saying. It's hot. This is really hot. Like, she has a rhythm. This chick knows. She knows her own pacing. And to answer your question, in my mind, yes, she chews with her mouth open. It's a loud, like that's sort of the sexual metronome of the event. And then it's a pop. And you're like, wow. Like, I mean, that's almost like that's like a trick.
Oh, so you're picturing like a very enthusiastic pop. I'm thinking this chick is like too cool for school, and it's a very like casual pop. Like, yeah, I just did that.
All right, thanks, Joe. You can get out of here. I got what I needed.
Yeah.
I'm good. You good? I'm good. You good? Are we done?
Like, I picture she could smoke a cigarette at the same time. That's like, I'm picturing really cool, badass, unaffected.
Big hair.
But yeah, huge hair.
Big hair.
Curly.
Definitely big and curly hair. Do we know this girl? And smokes the cigarette in bed.
100%.
At your place.
Yes.
Doesn't ask if it's okay.
Oh, no. No.
And I'm picturing all these women who are listening to this going, how the hell does she do that?
That's what I was wondering.
It's like, that sounds interesting. How the hell can she chew gum and make that time? Wow. That's what most people, yeah.
Because if it were me, I would choke on the gum.
Me too.
I would be in this moment. I'd be like, like, I couldn't do both at the same time.
And I mean, somewhere in my head, I could see this chick being like, well, can you walk and chew gum at the same time? What's the big deal?
Oh, yeah. She's seen some shit.
Yeah. Totally.
I mean, that's literally a cliche expression. Can you walk and chew gum at the same time? She's like, but you can't screw and chew gum? What's the matter with you?
She could be like an internet sensation.
Yeah.
She might need to get a gum deal out of this.
Only friends and gum. Only friends and gum.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. What's like bubble yum? I don't even know what's a good what.
Big chew.
Big chew.
Yeah.
Big blue. Yeah. Oh.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wrigley's, pop it or not.
Well, this Ventthis was right. He said, I bet you guys will never keep a straight face. 100%. We were laughing our asses off. I think this is one of our best vents ever. And I hope when he listens, he gets a kick out of this. Because
was it even a vent? Is he upset about it, or is he like into this?
I think he was trying to see like what if we think this is nuts. Like what's the level of unusual? Is this just weird to him or to everybody? And the answer is it's weird to everybody, but it's unique weird and not a bad weird.
I think more people should know about this.
Yeah.
Just to know what's out there.
She could give lessons.
She should give lessons.
She should give lessons. You know how like, what was it? Something about Mary when they were like making out with zucchini or so. What like in the movie when Andy Dick shows up and they're all kissing vegetables. Oh yeah. Actually, they weren't kissing. They were practicing. something with it. Anyway. So, but I think she could do this on the internet, obviously not during intercourse. She could be, some other distracting effort while chewing and then try to pop on, like I see millions of views. Can we rep you? That's our response to this event. Can we manage your girlfriend? And hopefully
you should have her as a guest on the show.
Good idea.
Bring her on. Yes.
Chelsea's a genius.
Yes. Please, Ventthis. That's our response. We're so intrigued that we would love to have both of you as a guest. Please, not in the act. This is a family show, but
off air, I would like to witness this.
Yes.
And I'm also curious, has he tried gum? Has he been inspired by her technique? And
I could see him being intimidated.
It's very intimidating.
Me too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, cause it's on a guy to perform, like we have a little added stress kind of in being available for the act. So maybe chewing gum and staying hard focused might be kind of, I'm just saying that's kind of, that's kind of an added task. You might as well have him spin a plate on a stick while he's doing, like, what are we,
Well, when you have her as a guest, I have some questions ready to go. Like, where did she learn this? What made her want to do this one day?
What gum does she prefer?
What gum does she prefer?
That's where we get the sponsor.
Yeah.
Which gum is she like, no, you can't do juicy fruit. It just doesn't pop right. It's distracting to her. She's like, Doublemint. Doublemint is a good screw gum. That's the one.
Well, I bet, because then you get like minty breath while you do it.
Good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe she's kind of aggressive and she likes big league chew. That's what we used to chew in baseball instead of having dip in our mouth. It was like this kid's gum that was shredded. Maybe she's got this big lip.
She just holds it in her gum
like a squirrel. Just a mouthful of big league chew. She's like spitting out the side of her mouth until the very end. How big of a bubble you would blow with big league chew? That would be like, it would get on you. Like that would be the size of your head.
Well, that's the other thing. If it pops, does it get all over him?
All over the sheets?
And her hair?
You gotta buy new
her
sheets,
curly hair,
and a haircut. Oh, it's a
and her fuzzy little dog that she has who's yapping. She has a Pomeranian. This chick has a Pomeranian.
Yes, her dog definitely has big hair too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he barks the whole time. Maybe that's why she chews, to not hear the bark of the Pomeranian.
And when she spits the gum out, if she does, a dog picks the gum up like the other event with a dog. Whatever. It's a story. Yeah. It's a full-on story. All right. Well, I guess we wrapped it up.
I think we may be losing Chelsea here.
Oh, I have to run.
But you have filled us with some great thoughts.
Yes.
And it was very exciting to have you on.
Thank you.
2 weeks in a row. Maybe we'll discuss it another time. Chrissy and I will review. We'll see if you're up to the cut.
Well, next time I'd like a green room. I'd like some snacks.
All right. And next thing you know, she's going to want gum.
Yes, I definitely want some gum.
All right.
And I definitely want to be on the episode where we bring this lady on.
That's a deal.
It's a deal. Thank you, Chelsea.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't go away, listeners. Don't go away. But wait,
Paul's here.
We're still going.
Yeah,
we're still going.
We got comments. Paul, you going to read the comments?
Well, was that 3 vents?
Huh?
Was that 3 vents?
Yeah.
That's all of them?
Yeah.
God. Right? Okay. Well, great.
What we did, the gum, we did the wine.
And the dog.
Yeah.
How about Chrissy? You're on it. We do have comments. Why don't we kick off?
Let's do the comments.
Comment number 1. I don't know what's better, Ventthis or the World Series.
Whoa.
Wow.
Now that's a compliment.
That's a compliment.
Thank you.
I don't think I could have chewed gum and read that at the same time. I would have popped way too soon.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really cool.
That's nice. That's nice.
Okay. Comment number 2. Oh, we're staying on topic here. Sex and cartoons. I heard the promo for this vent, and are the hosts talking about cartoon porn? Because I believe that's weird. What's next? Dinosaur cartoon sex? Weird people who write these. Okay. To be clear, We don't write the vents. Like people vent to us and we share what, you know, we're just arbiters, would it be? Of harbingers of that which is passed to us. So, you know, we don't invent this stuff. Maybe like 1 or 2 times in the beginning. No. We're pretty honest when it's us because that's how we kick it off if we've had an event this week. So it's handed to us. But I think that it's kind of interesting that the commenter then offered their own interesting take on unusual cartoon sex by bringing in dinosaurs. Have you just been wanting to talk about that?
Yeah, seriously. Like, is that a vent? And also, that vent was not about cartoon porn at all. We don't talk about stuff like that. That's disgusting. No, that venter said that while these people were doing their thing, she had cartoons on in the background. It had nothing to do with porn. So just clarify that.
Comment 3. My husband and I schedule sex all the time. What's wrong with that? We have busy careers, but we want to make time for each other. I'm reading poorly today. I'm very choppy. Your venter should stop complaining and jump in the sack.
Oh, you know what they're talking about, right?
Yes.
We had a vent about that.
They do it on Fridays. Friday at 8 o'clock. Fridays.
Yeah, they schedule, and this person doesn't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. Okay, I agree with this comment.
Yeah.
Whatever makes it floats your boat, right?
You know, we've all heard the expression 2 ships passing in the night, and you never want to become that. You don't want to be the couple who just became roommates, you know, and if schedules are tearing you apart, but you still want to be close as a couple, fine. Sometimes you have to say it is easy for your schedules to dictate your life sometimes because that's what pays your bills. But sometimes you got to be disciplined and say, you know what? We have to have some us time. We're doing it this, you know, whatever day, Wednesday, that's the day we're both in town. We're doing it. And as I said, and I do remember that because I remember my feeling on that particular event. I think there's a likelihood that guy was taking a supplement. I think he was taking a pill.
You talked about that, the blue pill.
I think so. No, and I'm not even being funny. I know, but that's why I think it was important to him to time it right, because that's a big growing segment of society. Or I mean, growing's maybe a funny term for that, but not to lay down the hard line of what's really going on. But no,
God.
Huh?
No, I said use a hard line. I'm like, we're not going to go there now. Yeah.
No. This is a very stiff conversation. All right, so we're going to poke right through it and say, thank you. We agree. It is important to make time. And if that's what you got to do, make the time.
Yeah.
And we're excited that all of our listeners have made the time to, what a transition. Now we're still.
That was a good one.
Right? You like that? I'll pat myself on the back, not on the pants. All right. Enough. That's too much. It's a family show. But we want to thank you for listening. That's been the vents for this week. Those have been the comments. Chrissy has, hit it out of the park. We had our guest Chelsea, who she's so high profile she couldn't even stay for the whole thing. You know what?
She's big time.
She's big time. She big timed us. That's what happened.
She was great.
So that's what we've got. You guys, as always, we want to ask, check out our YouTube channel. Give us a like, a subscribe, all those exciting, a thumbs up, all those things. You can also go in and vent to us on ventthis.org. That's our website. And if you want to just slam it home with your voice, get on the horn, dial us up. So anyway, let us know. We'd love to know who you are. We always love to fill out our demographic. Don't be hiding behind the dark tint when it comes to letting us know who you are. And if you listened enough and caught last week, you'd know that reference is fun.
Nice. Thank you, Paul. Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.